Tonight on UMTV News, one 18-year-old Florida student has been charged after trying to pay a fellow classmate to commit murder.
Plus, Microsoft is cutting down the work week for some of their employees and increasing productivity at the same time.
And later on, the outcome of the intense Miami versus Florida State game were bad for Florida State and even worse for their head coach. All that and more on our show today. UMTV News starts right now. Hello and welcome to this edition of UMTV News. I'm Gianna Sanchez.
And I'm Jacqueline Marino. Glad you could join us. One high school student in the Pasco County School District in West Florida has been arrested after police say he tried to hire someone to kill a school employee. The 18-year-old has been charged with first-degree attempt to solicit murder.
I need a guy who could kill someone. Another quote was, "We have $100,000 for the victim's head." And the third quote was, "No joke, I need him eliminated as soon as possible."
Joking or not, Nicholas Godfrey finds himself in a world of trouble. He's accused hiring a hitman to kill a staff member at his school, 5A High School. Deputies won't say what the staff member does, but alerted him to the threat made on Instagram.
As the victim and their family, imagine getting that notification from the sheriff's office saying, "Hey, we need to protect you."
Investigators say they were able to tie the account's IP address to Godfrey's home in Newport Richey. Authorities tell us Godfrey admitted to sending the messages in a written statement. Superintendent Kurt Browning says he's warned students over and over again about the use of social media.
And this is the message that I have tried to get through to all of our students across this district. I have begged with students, I have pled with parents to know what your kids are doing on social media and who they're talking to.
Now in Pinellas County, one elementary school teacher has been fired and arrested on Friday after being accused of showing up to work drunk. This Pinellas County teacher is not only fired, Lisa Edelstein is now facing criminal charges after just 7 days on the job.
When you make that decision in the line of work that you are in, yeah, that's an automatic, fired, not hire.
Mom of 7, Brandy Parker, found out this morning after the district called. Her daughter is a second grader at Skyview Elementary in Pinellas Park.
Some people don't have backgrounds and they take a wrong turn in life and it catches up to them. So do I blame the school? Absolutely not.
According to arrest records, Edelstein was loud and belligerent in front of the children.
Bloodshot, watery eyes, slurring of the words. There was some rocking back and forth, stumbling.
Sergeant Roxanne Pohl of Pinellas Park PD was called in to help campus police.
I did ask her to lower her voice. I attempted to explain that there were students in the school that we wished they not be interrupted.
She says at one point, Edelstein tried to get in her car and leave.
I was shocked, disappointed. Trust here is someone who we expect to come to school ready to teach. And unfortunately, that's not what happened this morning.
We found out Edelstein has faced disciplinary action before, part of her 30 years as an assistant teacher in Hillsborough County. Today, Edelstein faces a disorderly conduct charge and possibly more.
What was found in her car?
Marijuana.
Edelstein has been fired by the Pinellas County School District. Her charges are still pending.
After being a resident of New York for all of his life, President Donald Trump has now declared himself a Florida man. He has changed his permanent address to his Mar-a-Lago hotel and shared the news on Twitter. And Florida voters are at the polls today for general statewide elections. These elections may not be as high profile as the 2020 presidential and congressional elections will be a year from now, but they could shed light on how the country is feeling in the middle of an impeachment inquiry.
The FDA and the Canadian Food Inspection Agency have released a notification about possible food contamination. More than 100 vegetable products are being recalled after listeria concerns. Recalled packages include some varieties of Mann's, H-E-B, Del Monte, and Trader Joe's. So far, no injuries have been reported, but listeria can cause serious and even fatal infections in those with weakened immune systems.
The popular clothing retailer Under Armour is now under investigation for its accounting practices. The Justice Department and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission are looking into Under Armour's financial statements. The company has denied any wrongdoings and believes their practices have been appropriate and lawful. Reports have suggested Under Armour has shifted sales to make the company appear more viable as they continue to lose sales to large brands such as Nike and Adidas.
And coming up after the break, a bank ATM explodes in Florida, shutting down the surrounding streets.
Plus, the city of Miami is celebrating the wins of 2 of their football teams. Stay with us. UMTV News will be right back.
So we were walking to school.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart.
want cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
A bank ATM exploded in Pinellas County, Florida early Monday morning. No one was injured, but the surrounding streets of the BB&T Bank branch were shut down because of the incident. Eyewitnesses say it sounded like a large thud. The FBI and ATF are still working to figure out what caused this explosion. Authorities are asking people to stay away from the area while they are investigating. There are no reports on whether any money was stolen from the ATM.
The weekend always seems a bit too short, and Microsoft agrees. The technology giant just started a trial program in Japan over the summer to have 4-day work weeks. Besides working only 4 days a week, Microsoft employees in Japan are also encouraged to cut down on use of emails and meetings. And even though the time spent at the work went down, the productivity went up. More than 90% of Microsoft's Japanese employees said they were positively impacted by the change, and the company also saved on some of their resources like electricity.
Airbnb is making big changes after a deadly Halloween party. A 5th person has died this past weekend after a shooting in San Francisco. The shooting is still under investigation, but Airbnb says it's banning party houses at all its rental properties. The company says it's implementing a more stringent guest screening program as well as a party house rapid response team. Anyone found in violation of the upgraded policies could be removed from the site. Airbnb CEO tweeted, "We must do better, and we will. This is unacceptable."
Following Halloween, people were celebrating the Mexican holiday called the Day of the Dead over the weekend. And Raise the Dead Music Festival is one special activity that's held right next to Wynwood Cemetery. It creates a near-death experience with cool music and great design. Our reporter Ziwei Zhang went to check it out.
Raise the Dead Music Festival is a one-day festival on November the 2nd. Traditionally, it is a day when people celebrate El Día de los Muertos in Mexico, which is translated into the Day of the Dead. However, this music festival is not limited to Mexicans. People all over the places come here to celebrate this day with music, dance, food, and fun activities in memory of their loved ones who have passed away.
I'm Russian and I'm from New York. Cuban and Colombian and from Miami. We're both not Mexican, but we are celebrating it regardless because we have loved one that's passed.
Participants are dressed up in white masks, skeleton faces, along with the characters and costumes, which together add a dimension of reality to this theater-like near-death experience.
You have a skeleton, yeah, from my mind. And I'm a goddess gypsy.
This music festival is held right next to the Wynwood Cemetery. Besides, the ambience is dark. But without darkness, we cannot see lights. Darkness is where lights come from. And this inspires some people's costume ideas.
Just to have as many lights as possible, and it's still kind of like going with the theme, Day of the Dead, but with lights. So it has like more like light side, and that's why I put the dark on the eye too.
For UMTV News, this is Jiwei Zhang reporting.
If you're buying holiday gifts online this season, no worries this year. Amazon is changing their free delivery options for Prime users across the U.S. Prime members will have access to over 10 million items ready for next day delivery. Those include popular toys as well as electronics. Customers can still order their items to self-service hub lockers across the U.S. People can also opt to pick up their packages at various in-store partner locations. Some of those locations include Rite Aid and GNC.
And coming up, it's a weekend of victories. The Washington Nationals, take their World Series trophy to the White House.
Plus, Miami's big win over a rival team resulted in an even bigger fallout. All that and more in sports after the break. Don't go away.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
So we were walking to school.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really want
smart.
cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have another bad day at school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
So we were walking to school.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really want
smart.
cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have another bad day at school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Grace Smith. Over the weekend, UM's Video Game Club worked with the Extra Life organization to fundraise for Miami Children's Hospital through 12 hours of gaming. VGC and gaming enthusiasts settled in for a full day of cards, board games, and even virtual reality experiences on Sunday. The event was part of Extra Life, which is a national organization that facilitates these all-day events to raise money for local charities. For VGC, it's the event of the year.
I would say it's probably the biggest event of the year that we try to do. I've done it since freshman year, and it's always been one of our most important things that we've pushed for. You know, turnouts can sometimes be bigger or smaller depending on the year, depending on the interest, but we always want to do it no matter how many people or how few people come, because it's an amazing event, and we know we'll always get people who are really invested in the charity aspect of it and really want to give back.
The Video Games Club raised nearly $2,000 during the stream, but the fundraising did not end that night. Donations can still be submitted by going to extra-life.org and searching for University of Miami. In different sports news, University of Miami football team beat rivals Florida State University for the third straight time this past Saturday in Tallahassee. The most important thing in college football is beating your rivals, and the Hurricanes dominated the Noles with a fast and furious defensive performance. Miami finished with season-high 9 sacks as well as 2 turnovers that gave the chain a chance to shine. But the offense did not fail to shine either. Quarterback Jaron Williams threw for over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns to Jeff Thomas and D. Wiggins. This victory marks Manny Diaz's first win over FSU as a head coach and will hopefully power the Canes to a victory Saturday over Louisville at Hard Rock Stadium. The kickoff is at 3:30. And that loss to Miami had far-reaching consequences off the field for Florida State. FSU announced the firing of head coach Willie Taggart on Sunday morning. Taggart was 9-12 in the 2 years he led the Noles and was winless against Miami during that time. Taggart's buyout is about $17 million, but the school said it had no choice after on-field performance and the steady drop of game attendance. Longtime Florida State assistant Odell Haggins will step up as interim head coach. I'm Grace Smith. Now back to you guys at the desk.
After losing every game this season, the Miami Dolphins got their first win of 2019 in front of a home crowd. This past Saturday, the Dolphins avoided an 0-8 start as they beat the New York Jets and their former head coach Adam Gase in a 26-18 victory. Quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick threw a total of 3 touchdown passes, 2 of them to Dolphins rookie Preston Williams. The Dolphins are now 1-7 as they prepare to face the Indianapolis Colts this weekend.
Wow, what an exciting weekend in Miami sports.
I can't wait to see the homecoming game this weekend.
Me too.
That's all for UMTV News. See you next week.